He was named the 57th greatest guitarist by Rolling Stone magazine and referred to as the greatest guitarist you've never heard of. Let's take a look at the life and career of Rory Gallagher, definitely a guitarist you should know. Rory Gallagher was born in Ballyshannon in County Donegal, Ireland in 1948, and raised in Cork, Ireland. He was raised by Daniel and Monica Gallagher and had a younger brother, Donald, who would later become his manager. Both parents encouraged their sons' musical pursuits. When Rory was 9, he received his first guitar. Becoming proficient on the instrument quickly, he began to play at functions and even won some money at a talent contest at age 12, which helped him buy another guitar. But of course, the guitar most associated with Rory Gallagher is his 1961 Fender Stratocaster. He bought this guitar from Crowley's Music Shop in Cork, Ireland for just under £100. Rory always wanted a guitar like Buddy Holly and convinced his mother to finance the guitar by telling her with this guitar he could play both rhythm and lead and wouldn't need another guitar player, which meant he would earn more money and pay it off quicker. Luckily his plea worked and he ended up with a guitar that would inspire him for the rest of his career. Almost all the finish was worn off this guitar, supposedly because of Rory's unusually acidic sweat. Some of Rory's early musical influences were Buddy Holly, Lonnie Donegan, Eddie Cochran, and Muddy Waters. Getting deeper into folk and blues, Rory later discovered Leadbelly, Woody Guthrie, and Big Bill Broonzy. Rory in his teen years played in Irish show bands after school, which were dance-oriented bands consisting of 6 to 8 members, playing dance-oriented music including pop hits of the day. He began touring Ireland in the UK as well as Spain and Germany with the band Fontana, which later became The Impact. After some time touring, this band broke up and Rory returned to Cork, Ireland to form his own band. That band would be Taste. Well, first it was The Taste, but later changed to just Taste. After playing with various musicians coming and going, the band's lineup settled with drummer John Wilson and bassist Richard McCracken, becoming a trio. The band played extensively in the UK, including regularly at the Marquee Club. Eric Clapton got to know Rory while Taste supported Cream at their Royal Albert Hall farewell concert, and later supporting Blind Faith on a tour of North America. This band soon broke up, however, due to creative differences between members as well as some management issues, which caused some legal headaches down the road for Rory. After the breakup of Taste, Rory decided to go solo. Now looking for musicians to round out this band, Rory auditioned Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell, who previously played in Jimi Hendrix's band, but this intriguing lineup wasn't meant to be, and settled on bassist Jerry McAvoy and drummer Wilger Campbell. His first self-titled solo record was recorded in 1971 at Advision Studios in London, and produced by Gallagher himself. This album contains live staples Laundromat, Hands Up, and Sinner Boy, as well as covers of Muddy Waters, Gypsy Woman, and Otis Rush's It Takes Time. This album was released in 1971. Rory was very prolific in the 70s, releasing 10 albums, including 2 live albums. After the self-titled solo debut, Rory Gallagher released Deuce, also released in 1971. This was an attempt to get the feel of the live band on record. In 1972, he released his first live album, Live in Europe. In 1973, Blueprint and Tattoo were released. In 1974, Rory released another live album, Irish Tours 74. In 1975 was Against the Grain. In 1976, Calling Card. In 1978 saw the release of Photo Finish, and to round out the 70s was Top Priority. The 80s saw a little less output from Rory, but he still recorded and produced a number of albums. To kick off the 80s, he released the third live album, Stage Struck. 1982 saw the release of Jinx. 1987 saw the release of Defender. 1990, unfortunately, would be the last year Rory Gallagher would release an album, which was Fresh Evidence. Rory Gallagher had a number of health issues in the last few years of his life, including a thyroid disorder, psoriasis, asthma, as well as a fear of flying, for which he was prescribed a number of medications. In January 1995, he had to cancel a tour due to severe abdominal pain, and in March was admitted into King's College Hospital in London. Here it was discovered that his ailing health was due to a failing liver. Rory was waiting for a transplant when he contracted a MRSA infection and passed away on the 14th of June 1995. He was only 47 years old. Rory Gallagher had a large impact on musicians, especially guitarists, that were influenced by him. Some of the guitarists that cite Rory as an influence are U2's The Edge, Slash, Johnny Marr of the Smiths, Alex Lifeson of Rush, Gary Moore, Joe Bonamassa, and many, many more. In fact, Brian May of Queen's sound is in large part because of Rory Gallagher. After an early gig in the 60s, a very young Brian May approached Rory and asked him how he gets his sound. He then tells Brian about his setup, including a Vox AC30 and a Dallas Rangemaster treble booster, which Brian made history with throughout his own career. This makes me think of what a quality human being Rory Gallagher was, hearing people like Brian May and Alex Lifeson share their experiences with him, and what a wonderful person he was. Though Rory Gallagher left us at such a young age, he left behind his genius on record for all of us to enjoy and new fans to discover for years to come. He will be remembered as one of the greats. Thank you, Rory Gallagher.